Okay, welcome back. And for the second part, we will be looking at the functions of Celsius to better understand how it works and how this might just be a replacement for banks one day when we switch to Bitcoins instead of US dollars.
So yeah, so look, our purpose, the purpose of Celsius is really to grow and empower the community. And I think the only way that Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the other coins we support become real replacements or alternatives to government issued currencies is if you have a very broad community all over the world that is supporting and accepting and using these coins. So what Celsius has done is focused on the three most important services that we think are the most critical services to the crypto community. One is making a deposit and earning return, right? So we created, I think, the only solution, the only app for sure that you can just download, do a simple KYC, and start earning deposit or income on your coins. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to trade. You don't have to know when to get in, when to get out. You deposit, and it automatically, every Monday, interest shows up in your wallet. So if you have BTC, you have more BTC. If you have ETH, you have more ETH, and so on. And at any time, you can withdraw your coins and use them for anything that you need to use them. So there's no lockup, there's no special agreements, and so on. We partnered with BitGo, so we keep the coins with a custodian, and when we issue a loan or when we issue the coins, lend the coins out to earn interest, we basically take collateral. So there's always either your coins are in the wallet or the collateral for your coins is in the wallet. So the earning interest is a very simple service. Again, everything we do is open and transparent. You can see where the coins go. You can see what they're being used for. You can see what the community is earning. And if you're 1% of the total BTC, you will earn 1% of the total interest distribution. Every Monday we publish the interest, and every Monday we deposit the interest into everybody's account. And you can only do this with the blockchain, because if tomorrow we have 100 million users and we can distribute interest to 100 million users, you couldn't do that with the Visa or MasterCard. You couldn't do that with a bank, because the fees that all these people charge in many cases would be more than the interest distribution itself. So this model only works on the blockchain. And it allows small people with $10 or $5 to earn as much as the people with $1 million. So that's a simple service. Again, to use it, you just download the app, you register, and you go in and you basically just start using the service that we provide.
Okay, before we move on and describe each function of the app, I have to ask you something, because each day, just like every cryptocurrency person, I check CoinMarketCap, and I saw recently that they added this function which allows you to get a loan to buy crypto. And the service which sponsors them is called Nexo, and it's labeled as instant crypto loans. So how is Celsius different from Nexo?
So two big differences. First, we charge, I think, half of what Nexo charges. So we issue loans at 9% and 5% per year. I think Nexo charges anywhere between 16 and 20%. And now Nexo claims that you can use their coins to pay, and when you pay with their coins, it's half. But if you try that, you will see that it only works when their coin is at a certain price, so you can't use it all the time. So net-net, you will always pay higher interest with Nexo. Also, I think Nexo only issues loans in euros. They do not issue loans in dollars. We issue loans in all different currencies. And the biggest difference and the most important difference is that Nexo takes the profit. They charge you twice as much, then they take that profit and they give it to their rich investors. Everything we earn goes back to the community as as interest distribution. So we give all of the profits, or 80% of the profits of the interest income, back to the community. So one day you could be a borrower and you pay interest, and the next day you could be the person just depositing the coins and earning the interest. And you know exactly where it's coming from. I don't have any water here, so it's going to be difficult to. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I think the next question is about an article which you wrote a few months ago, and you're talking about the approach that you're taking with Celsius, and you wanted it to have organic growth because you started an ICO in early 2018, and it was successful in terms of raising funds, and you said that it was not the only way of financing. You also managed to secure some funds from other sources, but you didn't pay from these funds to get listed on exchanges or to get advertisements and sponsored content. So you wanted it to grow organically and have a word by mouth approach to it. So people recommend Celsius because they like it and because they see that they maybe earn interest according to their deposits. And how has that worked out as compared to other ICOs, which maybe spent a lot of money just to get listed on exchanges and then get promoted and have sponsored articles and, you know, all that stuff, which is basically
so a few things. So first, we did not take any money from very large crypto investors. So if you look at Nexo, for example, Nexo took a lot of money from 4 or 5 big investors. They promised the community that they will do an ICO, but they didn't do the ICO. All of their 4 or 5 big investors took all of the equity in the company or the coins in the company. So we, from the beginning, said we're not going to allow the big investors, the rich guys, to get even more rich. This is built for the community, by the community. I don't need more money. I already made a lot of money in my career. I'm doing this for the community, right? And if you don't believe me, you can go and check my background and see how much I had in exits and how many good businesses. And I took 2 companies public. I ran a public company as a CEO. So I made tens of millions of dollars over the years. And I don't need more money. It's not going to help me with anything. So one, all of our membership is a small investor. We don't have a single big venture capital or private equity or Wall Street investor in our community, which is the opposite of what a lot of other ICOs did. And we also decided not to list on exchanges because all the people that listed on exchanges, the main reason they listed on exchanges was because they wanted their coins or their tokens to go up in value so they can dump them. And then their community will be left with tokens that lost 90% of the value. So if you look at Celsius, we did not list on exchanges because these exchanges also did not agree to commit to us that they are not doing bad things for their members, like Binance or like BitMEX. And the second reason was that we decided that we will only start selling our tokens after our shareholders or after our token holders have created value for themselves. So the team in Celsius, you can check it on Telegram, a few months ago, agreed to lock. We already had the first 6 months expiration, but the team has agreed to lock all the tokens again to be 6 months after we list on an exchange. So we're planning to list on an exchange in March, and the team agreed to lock the tokens for another 6 months after that, meaning there's going to be a year and a half between the time we did the ICO and the time that the Celsius team is going to start selling any coins or tokens on the market. So all of this is supposed to communicate to our community, to show the community that our commitment that we will only benefit after our members have benefited, after our members had a year of earning interest, of seeing how everything works, telling their friends, building this company. And then the value of the token, I think, is going to be higher than it is today. So it's in our best interest. It's a win-win for everybody. So I don't think there's any other company that has done that. So I think we're the only ones who are really doing this because we believe in the community. We're doing it for the community. And I hope that these actions will convince many of your viewers and many other people that Celsius is different than all the other projects out there.
Okay, because if you work as a journalist in the blockchain industry, then you have to write a lot of reports based on roadmaps. And when you check any ICO, you see that part of the roadmap is to get listed on as many exchanges as possible. And to investors or people who buy in maybe during the pre-sale, this is a guarantee that at some point the tokens that they buy are going to be much more valuable, and they're going to maybe dump them as soon as they get listed on an exchange.
That was 2018 and 2017. That is not 2019. So, I think most people are not going to be able to dump their tokens at a higher price than they bought them, unless the projects become very, very viable project and they really create value for their communities. So our job is to create the community and create value for our community. That is the only way that our tokens will become more valuable.
How do you regard all this buzz about the SEC trying to shut down ICO operations because they are not compliant? And do you think that it was foolish of them to think that just because it's built on a blockchain, it escapes legislation and regulations?
Well, I don't think the SEC is trying to shut everything down. I think the SEC told all the projects that were non-compliant, all the projects that they think are securities, that they have to change how they do things, or they have to stop, they have to cease and desist, right? They have to stop their operation, or they have to return the money to their investors. We filed Reg D, we filed the documentation with the SEC when we did our ICO. We filed with FinCEN. So we filed with all the regulatory bodies, telling them what we're going to do, explaining to them all the terms and conditions. And I think we did everything by the rules. So the SEC is not asking us questions. They're not asking us to shut down because we are doing everything by the book. Today, there's much more emphasis on security tokens. And I think the security tokens are going to have their own set of issues. But there's going to be, look, out of the utility token wave, there were 3,000 or 4,000 of those. I think there's going to be few very good projects that are going to prove to be the Google or the Netscape or the Microsoft of the blockchain. And the problem today for most investors is just really trying to see through the noise and through the smoke, who is a real company, who is doing it for the real reason, who has a real community. I can tell you that we're probably the only project that doubled their Telegram membership over the last 6 months. Okay, first, we didn't do any airdrops, so we didn't have any fake accounts on our Telegram. And second, we are growing organically. Our friends are telling their friends, and we went from 6,000 or 7,000 users to something like 13,000 or 14,000 users on Telegram. So you can see our progress or our momentum just from deposits. We haven't had a single day since we launched 3 months ago where we had more withdrawals than deposit. Every day we have more deposit than withdrawals. And that is because we're providing a very valuable service to the community. What we do, no one else does. And the reason no one else does is because we're giving most of what we generate back to the community. Everybody thinks we're crazy. Everybody's saying, Alex, why are you giving everything back to the people? So I think if you really believe in Satoshi and if you really believe in all these things, then you should be doing it. You can do well and do good at the same time. And that's what we're trying to do. There's plenty of value here for us if the community is big enough. If we have 10,000 users, then we didn't do anything. But if we have 100 million users, then that's going to change the world.
If you have 100 million users, I think you're going to be the largest utility and application of the Ethereum blockchain.
Yes. Well, remember, we don't only work on Ethereum, right? We support Bitcoin, we support Stellar, we support Ripple, we support the top 8 blockchains today. So we're not married just to Ethereum. When I send you Bitcoin through CellPay, I'm using the Bitcoin blockchain, right? I don't use the Ethereum blockchain.
Mm-hmm. So you're listing currently, or not listing, you're supporting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, but it's written as Bcash in here. And I'm not sure if it's the ABC version or Satoshi's vision.
Yeah, right. Since the split, we're supporting both because we hold coins for our customers for both after the split. So we have support for both coins, both chains.
And I guess when you show the price, it's like the sum of both.
So I think the app doesn't show yet each one, but it will show each one separately.
Okay. You also support Litecoin and Ripple and Ames Go. Wait, it's Ripple or XRP?
It's XRP. Yeah.
Okay. And Ames Go. Does
Yes.
OMG have a blockchain of its own? I think I recall it was on the Ethereum blockchain.
That is a very good question. I have to check that.
But why are you not supporting EOS or other projects?
So we use BitGo as our custodian. So under our platform, we use a custodian that holds all the coins. And currently we can only support what they support. So if you go to the bitgo.com website, you can see the 50 coins they support. We just took the biggest blockchains there, and that's who we support. They are planning to add Stellar and EOS and so on. When they add them, we will add them as well. It's just a question of time.
Okay. So now let's talk about the functions. So you have borrow, earn, and pay. I'm
That's
not
right.
sure if they can be seen. Okay. So with borrow, let's say that I need $1,000 and I want to get them in Litecoin. Oh, so for borrowing, you only support Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP, as far as I can see.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin,
XRP
and
and
XRP.
Litecoin.
Yes. Yes.
Well, let's say that I need $1,000 in Litecoin, and I have to choose
Well,
one of.
the Litecoin or Bitcoin really just determines what security you have, because we only lend to people that have crypto. We don't lend like this app is not for someone that has a house and he wants to get money against his house, or he has a car. So we only lend to the crypto community, and we charge very, very little. So if you already have coins, you basically say, I have BTC, I want to take a loan. How much you're going to charge me? That's what the app shows you, is how much you will pay per year in interest for dollars against your Bitcoin.
Oh, so if I have Bitcoin, I can take some US dollars and pay you back in time, and I get my Bitcoin back.
Exactly.
So I guess that's a great deal during the bull markets.
No, it's also a good deal at any time, because remember, if your Bitcoin cost, let's say you got your Bitcoin at $100 and now it's at 4,000. If you sell it, you have to pay half of it in taxes immediately, right? But with Celsius, you don't have to pay tax because you're not selling it. You just we hold it for you, and we give you $1 loan. So when you return the loan, we return the coins to you, or they start earning interest. But you don't sell your coins, so you don't have to pay the tax. You have to pay the tax later.
Oh, that's a smart loophole. So I have
That's what the rich people use to stay rich. They don't sell their real estate. They don't sell their stocks. They just borrow against it. You know, if you check how Donald Trump became so rich, he never paid any taxes against his real estate. He just kept buying more and more real estate and borrowing more and more against his real estate. So he never had to sell anything.
I never thought about it, but that's really smart.
It's a secret. It's a secret only the rich people do, you know?
So you
And the
have
funny thing is that this is the rule in almost every country in the world, but most people don't use it.
So if I choose one of these loan amounts, it says $200 and 20% LTV. What does LTV stand for?
Loan to value ratio. It's the ratio. It's the value of your coins compared to the value of the dollars. So if you take a lot of dollars against your coins, that is risky for the community. So we charge you more interest. If you take little dollars against your coins, that is low risk for the community. So we charge you less in interest.
Makes
So
sense.
everything we do is based on, is it good for the community? Is it not good for the community? Who benefits? And so on. But really, we have to balance doing good for the members and doing good for the total community. And that's what we try to do.
And I also have a 5% annual interest rate. And the
Right. So
monthly
it's,
interest payments of 83 cents. But that's for $1,000 in
yes.
Litecoin. So what is the largest amount that somebody can loan at this point?
We don't have a limit. We issued a loan just 2 weeks ago for $5 million, single loan to one individual. I think that's the largest loan in the industry, bigger than anything Nexo did or anybody else. We had one person come with 10 million worth of Bitcoin, and we gave him $5 million worth of dollars.
And how much does he have to pay to get his Bitcoin back?
He pays just like you. If you took $1,000 loan in percentages, it's exactly the same amount. We don't charge. You see, when you go to the bank and you have a lot of money, they charge you little. But if you don't have any money, they charge you a lot. Celsius treats the big guy and the small guy exactly the same way because we try to treat everybody equally.
So no matter what the amount is, you pay the same. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yes. Try to find another institution that does that.
I will try just for the sake of it. So
Yes.
there is the Earn tab in which you can deposit your Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ripple, or XRP, Amis Go, and Bitcoin Cash. So you can take any of them. Let's say I have Bitcoin, and the interest rate is 3.75. Let's try with Litecoin. It's 450, so I guess that's more convenient. And how much do you plan to deposit? Let's say, how much is Litecoin today? $30-ish. Let's say 30. And I get an estimated interest per week of 3 cents and 11 cents per month. And then estimated total interest for 6 months of 68 cents. But am I getting this in Litecoin if I deposit
You're getting this
Litecoin?
in Litecoin. Every week you would get more Litecoin in your account.
Okay. But what if the price changes and here it says that I get
We
3 cents
always
per
pay
week?
3.7. We always pay 3.75% of whatever the price is. Every Monday we pay the interest, and it's based on what the price is that Monday.
And how is that
So
profitable?
the interest, well, we have to make more than 3.75%. So for you today, if you hold your coins on exchanges, you make zero. If you hold your coins in cold storage, you make zero. The opposite. Binance and BitMEX make money from your coins. They don't give them to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Binance makes $1 billion from people giving them the coins for free. And we're saying, stop giving your coins for free. Let us charge for the coins, and we will give you back 80% of what we can collect for the coins. We do exactly the same thing that Binance does, exactly the same thing BitMEX does. But we do it on behalf of the community. They do it to make themselves rich. And they take that value and extract it in dollars out of the community. We take the value and give it back to the community as more coins. So we create demand for coins because we only distribute BTC and ETH and Litecoin. They take the money out. They have to sell the coins. So they're creating pressure on the price to go down even more. So again, I invite your viewers to understand what's happening and say, should I really support Binance? Should I support BitMEX? Should I support the exchanges? Or do I need to put my coins with someone who's acting in my best interest?
I just got an idea and it's very spontaneous. But right now, while I'm speaking with you, I'm going to deposit one ETH from my wallet because
Sure.
I think I got it at $600. Right now it's 100 and something, or maybe 200. I'm not sure. But I want to see how I earn
106.
interest.
It's
Right.
$106. So it's, yes.
That's very low.
Yes.
So I got wrecked in the jargon of the industry.
We all did. Yes. I have Ether too. So very painful.
I don't have much. I only have one. So I hold it in this wallet. It's loading. I guess it's because I have an older iPhone. It's the 6S. So I own $114 worth of Ether.
So just over one ETH.
Yeah.
Yep.
and I'm going to send it. So how do I send it to Celsius?
So go to the Celsius wallet, get your address.
Wait. So I go to the wallet and I
Just go to deposit.
deposit. You mean
Or earn.
earn?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And I pick Ethereum.
Yep.
And I need to input the amount. So it's, how much was it?
Just click on the bottom. If you just go to the bottom and click on add coins, you don't need to put the amount, just shows you what you're going to earn. But if you go to the bottom and put deposit coins, just scroll down.
Okay, deposit coins. And it
Yeah,
says
so
that
that
more
gives you the address. So just copy the address.
Yeah. So it's this one, just in case anyone wants to ever send me more.
And now go to your other wallet and send the coins to this address.
Right. So I go to the send section. I just want to see how fast this is, but I guess it's up to the Ethereum blockchain.
Right, that would have to go through the blockchain, but you will see pretty quickly that we see the transaction coming, and then it's just a question of the confirmations.
Oh, so this wallet, which I'm using, says that it's not supporting contract addresses.
Yes,
Because this
it
is a
is
smart
it's a
contract
smart
address.
contract. Yes. What wallet do you use?
It's blockchain.
Okay.
So you have to remember that. I'm going to try with Litecoin because I also have a few.
Might be the same problem because all of our deposits are addresses, contract addresses.
With Litecoin, I'm using Loaf wallets.
Okay. Well, you need a new address, right? So you need to go and get the Litecoin address.
This is actually exciting. I'm trying on, the crypto equivalent of a bank, and I'm depositing Litecoin for 50%. And let's say I'm going to enter $100 worth of Litecoin. Deposit coins. Copy. I like that it has the M address, which is for SegWit. It's the newer one. And if I send amount in dollars, it's 100 to paste. Okay, no memo. I'm just going to hit send here.
Yep.
It will take 2 to 5 minutes to process, and I have a fee of 5 cents. Okay, send.
That's from your current provider. We don't charge any fees. We only pay, we don't charge.
Okay. So in this whole ecosystem, I think I've asked the question once again, but what does the Celsius token do in this whole process?
So the Cell token first is a membership token, right? You have to be a member to participate in all of our services. Second, the Cell token, in the future, you'll be able to receive interest either in Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cell token. So if you believe, just like if you're familiar with BNB for Binance, right, their own currency, it's the same thing. It will have its own currency that is used to exchange value between the people that took the loan and the people that gave the loan, right? So we will use a Cell token as a mechanism to exchange value. Also, Cell tokens used to differentiate between the people who are long-term hodlers and the people who are just speculators or what do you call it? They're just they're just in this for the money, right? Because if you immediately sell your cell tokens, we give you less interest compared to the people that hold all the cell tokens. So all the people that are HODLing cell will receive more interest, maybe a quarter more, 25% more than the people that don't have the cell tokens. So the cell token is an indication to the community, I am here to help the community versus others who are just here to take out the profits.
It's
So these are just
almost
some,
cent.
what?
It's almost cent, the Litecoin. It's 40% almost written in a block.
Well, check your wallet to see if it says that coins are coming.
Wallet. I go to Litecoin. Nothing yet. Transactions.
All right.
Oh, I got it. But it's
Yep.
still pending $102.
Exactly. So
Litecoin.
we can see it, but we need enough blocks to process to make sure that it's there.
Mm-hmm. And from this point on, I went to earn, and
Yep.
I'm just
You will
going to
start
HODL
earning
it in
interest.
the wallet, and I'm
You
going
don't have to do anything. You don't have to check, you don't have to move, you don't have to trade, you don't have to do anything. It will
I think
automatically, every Monday you will get interest.
I can hold this for maybe a year or two, because
Good.
I saw the price decline, and I'm pretty disappointed.
Well, look, we need new people in the community, right? If me and you just send coins to each other, that's not going to do anything. So again, all of you viewers, if they want to create value, they have to use, for example, CellPay, which is a third service, to send new people coins. So when you're in a taxi, you have to convince the taxi guy to take a payment in, for example, Litecoin or Bitcoin or whatever, right? When you're in a restaurant, you have to convince the person to take the tip. That's what I do every day. Every interaction I have, I try to use CellPay to push more coins to new people. And when they try it, they get really excited. And when they read about it, they understand that it's for them. This is not for the rich people to be more rich. This is for the poor people and the people who are stuck in the middle class and the people who never, people in Africa and India and Middle East and everywhere else and in Romania who don't have a chance to break into the middle class or to become part of the 1%. So if all of us got together, it only works if all of us got together. And every person has to bring 10 new people into crypto. Then the coin value will go up because there's not enough sellers for this wave of adoption. And sometimes, we have a good day and sometimes we have a bad day, but as long as we bring more people into crypto, we will always win. It's that simple.
Now that I think about it, that's a pretty wise business plan because you're not looking for short-term gains to maximize your investments. You think about the network effect and how this can grow into something which has that, snowball effect and gets very...
So I invented voice over IP, right? What we use right now to talk to each other. And after 25 years, only half of the people on the planet use voice over IP. Half of the people pay for the service, pay for voice to call somebody. So, and it took 25 years to get half of the people on the planet. So when people ask me, how much time do you have? I'm like, I have 50 years. It's going to take a long time. It's not going to take a month or a year or 2 years. I know a lot of young people in a hurry, but if somebody should be in a hurry, it's me. I'm much older than you guys. So, I can see the end of my life, right? But I think that my job is to make sure that this new opportunity is delivered to all the young people, because I have 6 kids at home. Believe me, they have the same problem you have, right? Of basically make it in this world, because unless you're a tech genius or you're born on Wall Street, you're not going to be able to make money. It's going to be very difficult for you to buy an apartment and do well. And that's really part of what we need to do here, is to enable young people to do much better.
That makes sense. And now that I think about it, this whole part sounded like a big advertisement, as if, I'm trying to promote you, but I'm genuinely interested to see how it works.
Like you said,
this
is what?
To me, it's something new, and I wanted to try it. So
Well,
this is,
it's for the community. This everything we just described is for the community, right? There's no mechanism here where we meaning Celsius somehow benefits before the community benefits. We only benefit if there's a lot of users.
I just got an email which says, cha-ching, you just received free Litecoin. Okay. So,
Yeah, just a shame you sent it to yourself.
mhm.
Would it be much nicer if somebody sent it to you?
Oh yeah.
All right, I gotta run, but it was great doing this video.
I have one
Let's
last question if you have
yep,
2 minutes,
sure.
because I feel like I've been overly nice. And you said that you're a friend of Nick Szabo's, and he usually says that a trusted third party is a security hole. And how is the security of this wallet guaranteed? So what happens if somebody hacks it and steals private keys and funds from it? Is it guaranteed
So
by any fund, or do we get compensated if there is any loss?
we use BitGo. BitGo is the foundation for many exchanges. So when you put money, for example, at Kraken, Kraken does not run its own custodian. They actually use BitGo, for example. When you trade on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, on the CME, they use BitGo. So you can see that they're one of the oldest and safest. It's definitely much safer than having your own wallet in cold storage or on your phone. Okay, but there's always risk, right? There's risk that they make a mistake or we make a mistake or whatever. The Celsius community, part of the money that we collect, since we only give 80% back to the community, part of the money we keep is a safety, is almost like an insurance policy. It's a self-insured policy in case something bad happens. And sometimes our customers make mistake, like they send money to the wrong address or they do silly things, and we have to decide if we want to help them or we don't want to help them. But basically, as long as we are a profitable company and as long as we're doing everything in the interest of the community, we should be able to recover from any situation, from any disasters. We did not have any hacks. We did not have any coins stolen since we launched, and I'm not planning to have any. That's why we chose the best custodian that we can find.
Okay, but did you ever get an impression or an opinion from Nick Szabo about the Celsius network?
Well, look, Nick is a purist, like I said before. So he believes that people should just keep the coins in cold storage. That's his view of the world. He doesn't like exchanges. He doesn't believe in exchanges. And we don't think that people keeping their own coins is a solution. We think already 3 million Bitcoins were lost. So we don't think that this is a viable business if all the people that invest in Bitcoin are going to lose their coins. So we think that a centralized custodianship that is using the blockchain, right, is a much better solution as long as the actor, as long as the person running it or the company running it is acting in your best interest. The problem that we had until now is that no one was really acting in your best interest. And we think that Celsius is the first organization that is trying to do everything in the interest of its community. That is the big difference.
Okay.
Going full circle to Nouriel Rubini and the panel at Milken and everything else.
That's a great way to end it. And I'm
Yes.
going to check on this Celsius affair and see how it goes with the interest, because I deposited some coins. And I would like to thank you for this interview and for your generous donation of $50 in Celsius tokens.
Sure. Thanks for having us, and let's stay in touch. Let's see how your coins do over the next few weeks.
Let's see how the project does on the long term.
Perfect. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Take care.